Good morning students. Class 12th, chapter number 6, applications of derivatives, lecture number 9 homework and lecture number 10. So in lecture 9 you were given 1 to 15 questions of exercise 6.5. So we will discuss one or two questions from your homework part and then we are going to proceed with the next questions which are of 6 mark each. So starting with question number 14, in the question it is given that you have to find two positive numbers x and y such that x plus y is given as 60, and one more thing, we have to find two positive numbers such that this is 60 and xy cube is maximum. So let us consider this xy cube, let us consider this as product p. Okay, now we will calculate this p in one of it. That means one of the variables, let it be x or y. So suppose you calculate the value of x from here, which is 60 minus y. Putting this value in the p equation, let it be first equation, which is 60 minus y multiplied with cube of y. Now we see this complete is 60y cube minus y to the power 4. This complete is a function of y. Differentiating it with respect to y only, we get 60 multiplied with 3y square minus 4y cube, right? So what is the method that I told you to do? First of all, you have equation in two variables, substitute value of one variable or in the equation that is been given or that we have to prove as maximum and minimum. So whatever is to be proved as maximum and minimum, what you have to do, convert it in the form of one variable. So here I have converted in the form of y. Now after that, differentiate that particular expression with respect to y only or x only if you have converted in terms of x. So solving it, we have 180 y square minus 4y cube. Clear? Now we will be equating it to 0. So why are we doing it? Because we want the critical point at which it will be maximum or minimum. Also, one thing to note is you have to prove it as maximum. For maximum, the second order derivative of p, that means xy cube, should be less than 0. Keep that in mind. And for minimum, the second order derivative, you have to prove that as greater than 0. Clear? Let us now put 180y square minus 4y cube. What we can take common is 4y square. So we get, when we divide 180 with 4, we get 4 4s are 16, 4 5s are 20, 45 minus y as equal to 0. Now solving it, we have y equals 0 and y equals 45. Clear? Now at y equal to 45, if we prove the second order derivative of p, so let us just find out d square p divided by dy square, that means the second order derivative. What we will get is, differentiating this again, 180 multiplied with 2y minus 4 multiplied with 3y square. So we get it as 360y minus 12y square. Putting value of y as 45, we get 360 multiplied with 45 minus 12 multiplied with 45 whole square. 16,200 minus 24,300. So we see the answer is going to come negative, which is less than 0. So if at value of y equals 45, the second order derivative is less than 0, that means the product xy cube will be maximum at point y equals 45. So if y is equal to 45, can we try to find out x? Definitely. We have the equation x plus y as equal to 60. If y is equal to 45, we can definitely calculate x as 60 minus 45, which is 15. So the value of x is 15 and the value of y is 45. So we had to find two positive numbers x and y. So the numbers are 15 and 45, at which the product x into y cube will be maximum. Clear? This is how you had to do question number 14. Now let us switch to another question of the same kind that was given. I also give you hint about the question. So just to see in question number 15, we have to find two positive numbers x and y such that their sum x plus y is equal to 35 and the product, let us name it as p, is given as x square y to the power 5. First of all, we have to convert this in the form of one variable only. So let us calculate any value. So suppose I calculate y as equal to 35 minus x, or you calculate x as 35 minus y. Putting it here in the equation, we get 35 minus y whole square into y to the power 5. Clear? Now we can use product rule in it to solve it. Differentiating p equals 35 minus y whole square y to the power 5 using product rule, we have dp by dy equals 35 minus y whole square as it is, and then y to the power 5 will be 5y to the power 4 plus, then we have y to the power 5 as it is, and 35 minus y whole square differentiation will be 2 multiplied with 35 minus y into minus 1. Now just to see what is common in the complete. 35 minus y is common. Okay. Then we have y to the power 4 common. So what we are left with inside the bracket? Here we are left with 5 multiplied with 35 minus y minus, because of this one minus 1, minus y to the power 5 is there, y to the power 4 is taken common, so y is left and 2 is left. 35 minus y is already taken out. Now solving it, 35 minus y, y to the power 4, now we will multiply as 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15, 15 and 2 17, then minus 5y minus 2y. Then we have 35 minus y, y to the power 4, then 175 minus 7y. So now our purpose is to do what? Find the critical point. For that we will do dp by dy as equal to 0. Putting dp by dy as equal to 0, we get 35 minus y into y to the power 4 into 175 minus 7y as equal to 0. So we have the factors of y as, or the values of y as, y equals 35, y equals 0 and 175 equals 7y, from which we get y as equal to, so cancel it, 175 divided by 7, 7 2s are 14, then 7 5s are 35. So we have three values, 35, 0 and 25. Now we will check at which value that the second order derivative becomes greater than 0, that means positive. Let us find the second order derivative. The first order derivative, as we could see, is this one, right? Let us differentiate it. Now before doing that, just see carefully, the sum of the numbers is 35. Okay, so if we take y is equal to 35, that means x here is 0, and if x is 0 or y is 0, the product will become 0. Hence we can't take 0 or 35. The only answer left for us is y equals 25. So when we find the second order derivative, d square p by dy square, when we find this, what we have to put? 25. This is the only answer left with us, right? Because I'm again repeating, if y is equal to 0, the product will become 0, and if y is equal to 35, that means x is equal to 0, then only sum can be, right, 0. And positive numbers, when it is said, 0 is neither positive nor negative, right? So that means we have to find other than 0. Okay, so differentiating it again, what we will do is, this is the expression that we got, right? Or we can solve this also. It is what? 35 y to the power 4 minus y to the power 5, if I multiply this y inside, and 175 minus 7y. So when we are finding the differentiation of it, we will write d by dy of this. So again we will be using the product rule. So 35 y to the power 4 minus y to the power 5 as it is, and differentiation of 175 will be 0, and of minus 7 by it will be minus 7, plus 175 minus 7y as it is, and we will differentiate this. So what we are going to get 35 into 4y cube minus 5y to the power 4. Now I am not solving it, but whenever you will be putting y is equal to 25 in the second order derivative, you are going to get a positive answer which will be greater than 0. Hence, when second order derivative is greater than 0, the product so when you will solve it, we will get it as less than 0, and for minimum we have greater than 0, right? But it will come as less than 0. Hence, we will prove that the product is maximum, right? This was the condition for minimum. For maximum, we should have less than 0, and it will be coming as less than 0 at y equals 25. So if y is equal to 25, from here x will be equal to 35 minus 25, which is 10. Clear? So now I have solved how? By putting the value of x in the expression. Some of you can solve it by putting the value of y. You are going to definitely get the same answer. So what are the two positive numbers here? 25 and 10. Clear? Let us move to another question now. So this is what your homework part that I have discussed. Now moving to the classwork questions. Just look here carefully and read the statements, because these are the questions now starting for 6 marks, and every time in board exam you will get them. So what is said? A square piece of tin of side 18 centimeter is made up into a box without top, right? So what we have done, let us just take a box. Okay, so suppose this is the box. Now 18 centimeter, side is 18 centimeter, so we should take a square, not a rectangle. Let us just take a square box. So a square is drawn with 18 centimeter as the side. So all the sides will be 18 centimeter. Okay, is to be made into a box without top. So from this piece we have to make a box by cutting a square from each corner and folding up the flap. So what we are doing, from each corner, or let us make it more proper by just drawing with the line. Suppose we are cutting out squares from each corner. So squares are cut from each corner. So we will just assume that it is not given that what we should cut out, what length or what side of square is to be cut out. So it is said that by cutting a square from each corner and folding up the flaps to form the box. So what will you be doing is, I'll just draw these dotted lines to just show you how. So what we are doing is, we will cut these 4 corners, okay, these 4 squares that I have drawn, and whatever, like this piece, this side, this and this, we are folding them up. So when you fold them up, a box will be made up of without the top. The roof part will not be there. Okay, so this is how they are making a box. I am again repeating it. There is a square piece of tin of 18 centimeter side, right? And what we are doing, by cutting a square from each corner. So when you cut, you can do it with a paper also. Just take a square piece of paper, cut out the squares from the corner. So you will be left with the 4 sides. Okay, so you can just fold them up and make a box. So when you do that, they're asking what should be the side of square to be cut off. That means this square that we are cutting off, they're asking its side. So let us suppose its side is x. Okay, so what should be the side of square to be cut off, so that volume of the box is the maximum possible. So just read the last line again carefully. What should be the x? That means the side of the square to be cut off, so that volume is maximum possible of the box. So the box will be made up of, suppose, see, you cut x from here, you cut x from here. So what is this total length left? 18 minus 2x. This side also 18 minus 2x. Clear? This also will be 18 minus 2x, 18 minus 2x. Clear? This will be your length and breadth. What will be your height? So length into breadth into height is the volume. Length will be 18 minus 2x. Breadth will also be 18 minus 2x. So I am writing the square. And height will be the folded up portion, which is x only. So x will come up. Clear? You can definitely try it with the paper, you'll definitely get it. So just height will be the folded up flap, right? So that is x only. See, this is what you are going to fold up. So this is what x only, right? Now this is the volume. Our purpose is to maximize this volume. We have to maximize it, or we have to tell that at what value of x, that means we have to calculate first thing x at which this volume is maximum. And how we can prove the volume is maximum? When we find the second order, whichever variable, you know, suppose it is in x, so I am writing here x only. When we prove the second order derivative of volume as less than 0, then only we will be proving that the volume is maximum at some value of x. So our purpose is to first find out that x, and that will be calculated as how? When we differentiate it. So let us first differentiate. dv by dx will be, here just see 18 minus 2x square as it is, okay, and x differentiation will be 1 plus x as it is. Differentiation of this will be 2 into 18 minus 2x, and then of minus 2x it will be minus of 2. Clear? So what we are left with, 18 minus 2x whole square plus, or I should write minus 2 into 2 will be 4x into 18 minus 2x. So just see what will be common in this, 18 minus 2x. Taking that common, we are left with 18 minus 2x minus 4x. So 18 minus 2x multiplied with 18 minus 6x. Clear? Now we will equate this differentiation, the first order derivative, as equal to 0. By doing so, we have 18 as equal to 2x and 18 as equal to 6x. So we get x as equal to 9 and x as equal to 3. So just see, in case you take x as 9, so if you cut 9 from here top and 9 from here bottom, so total is 18 only. So the total will be cut off. So 9 is not possible. 9 is not possible because you can't cut square of 9 centimeter side from the corners, because the sheet is itself made up of 18 centimeter sides, right? So x value will be 3. Now we have to prove that at x equals 3, we have the maximum volume. So let us just write on a separate page what is dv by dx that we got, 18 minus 2x and 18 minus 6x. So let us differentiate it again, d square y by dx square, d square v by dx square. So putting the first one as constant, the second one 18 minus 6x, the differentiation will be minus 6 plus 18 minus 6x as it is. Differentiation of 18 minus 2x will give us minus 2. Now what is the value of x that we have to place? 3. 18 minus 2 multiplied with 3 is 6 into minus 6 plus 18 minus 6 into 3 will be, so I'll just write here at x equals 3. This implies, so 18 minus 6 into 3 is 18, correct, into minus 2. So this will become 0, and we have here 18 minus 6 is 12 into minus 6, which is minus of 72, less than 0. That means at x equals 3, the volume is maximum. Clear? So our purpose was, whenever it is asked that you have to show the volume as maximum, you have to find out the second order derivative of volume, and at some value of x that you will get by putting the first order derivative as equal to 0, you have to prove that as less than 0. Clear? So this is how you are going to find out. Now we have got x, so from each side you are going to cut out a square of 3 centimeter. Clear? Now it is just asked that what value of x the volume will be maximum. So it is 3. Sometimes in the question it will also be asked that write down the maximum volume. So this is the volume, right? In this you have to put x as equal to 3 and you have to solve it, and you have to write the maximum volume in numerical. Clear? This is how you will be solving question number 17. Next, question number 18 is exactly same as this. Instead of a square piece, you have a rectangular piece. Clear? So you can definitely try that out and you will be able to do that. Now let us go to the next question. here comes question number 19. It is said that show that of all the rectangles that are inscribed in a fixed circle. So I'll just draw a circle and a rectangle first. Now I have drawn a circle and a rectangle inside it. So the square has the maximum area. That means what we have to prove? All the rectangles which are inside this circle, the square has the maximum area. That means it will have the maximum area only when the rectangle is a square. So we actually have to prove the length and breadth as equal. We have to prove that this will be a square, then only it will have maximum area. So what is to be maximized first? Area of the rectangle. I am representing it with AR, and you know the formula, it is length multiplied with breadth. So let us consider length as x and breadth as y. So what will be the area of rectangle for us? X multiplied with y. Let it be your first equation. So use maximum part. Now what is given in the circle? Whenever it is written something given, using that you have to use. Circle is given, and of circle what we can use? The radius. So let us join this. Okay, now this is the center. Okay, so I'll just name it. Suppose this O is the center. So this is R and this is R. Okay, and this is your triangle, right angle triangle at B. So if I use in this Pythagoras theorem, because just to see what I have to use this circle whose radius I have, and what we have to use is like x and y. There are two variables. I have to convert this area into only one variable. So definitely I need the values of x and y in each other terms. So r plus r will be 2r. I will write AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So we will have 2r whole square equals AB is x square plus y square. So we have 4r square equals x square plus y square. Clear? Now let us find out value of x or y in other terms. So suppose I calculate y. So y square will be what? 4r square minus x square. Clear? Now I have this. Now just to see one thing, to note and to make your calculation simpler, I'll just write that in a box here and will explain. Just to see, if I take y square AR as equal to x multiplied with y, so what will be y from here? Just note down, under root of 4r square minus x square. Okay, so I'll have x under root 4r square minus x square. Now definitely we have this complete area in x term. Okay, and one more thing to note here is area is depending on the length and breadth, right? Area of the rectangle depends on length and breadth. So for us in area, r is a constant number. We will be considering it as a constant number. Okay, its differentiation for us will be 0. Getting this, what I am saying? In AR, it is area of rectangle. I am taking x and y as two variables, length and breadth. So changing on length and breadth will have an effect on area, right? R is not there in the area. X and y are there. So r is a constant, independent variable for us. Clear? So just to see here, if we differentiate it, it will be difficult for us because it has square root terms. So what we do is we square it. So if I square area, I'll get x square and y square, and here I can just put y square value. Clear? Which will make our calculation easier. So every time you get a square root, you always go for squaring that. Now it is a square, so we will replace it with some z, p, any variable you can name it. Clear? So suppose z is equal to a square now. So I am writing z equals a square, which is equal to x square into y square. So z will be equal to x square into, what is the value of y square? You can see here, 4r square minus x square. Put that here, 4r square minus x square. Clear? Now we will differentiate it with respect to x. So just to see, also we can multiply it. You can write it as 4r square x square minus x to the power 4. Clear? Let us now solve it. So 4r square being a constant will remain as it is. Differentiation of x square will be 2x minus x to the power 4 differentiation is 4x cube. So we are left with 8 r square x minus 4x cube. Clear? So we will equate it to 0. 8r square x is equal to 4x cube we will get. Clear? So solving it, we get 8r square is equal to 4x square. Cancelling it, we are left with x square is equal to 2r square. Also solving it further, we can write it as x equals under root of 2r. Clear? This is what we have got the value of x in terms of r. Also these are not directly cancelled. What we have to do it, take the things common. Like I have done here, I have taken 4x common from these two and then I have written. This is the exact way of writing. Okay, you don't have to cancel directly. Then also you will get this as equal to 0 because x equal to 0 is not possible. It is a side of rectangle. It can't have 0 length. So 2r square equal to x square you are going to get. This is the answer. Now x is equal to under root of 2r. So this is what the differentiation that we have got. So we will again differentiate it, and because we have to prove what? That this is having the maximum area. That means the second order derivative of the area should come as negative at some value of x, and this is the value of x that we have got. So just see, second order derivative with respect to x, what we will get is 8r square will be constant. Okay, x differentiation will be 1 minus 4x cube will be 12x square. Okay, and what we can do is, instead of x square we can put 2r square. So just to see, 8r square minus 12 into x square is 2r square. So you can easily see it is 8r square minus 24r square. Correct? And it is less than 0. It is coming as negative. That means area is maximum at this point. So if x is this, what is the expression that we were having is that y square is equal to 4r square minus x square. Clear? So 4r square minus x square we got as 2r square. So it is 2r square. Correct? So y will be equal to under root of 2r. So if you notice carefully, x and y value that we have got are exactly same, and these were the length and breadth of the rectangle, and these are coming exactly same. If length and breadth are equal, that means that is not a rectangle, that's a square. So area will be maximum when all the rectangles that are inscribed in the circle is a square. Clear? So like this you are going to solve these questions. Really important. So I won't be giving much homework. You have to do these questions again. First understand from here and then do in your notebook in your own way. Okay, just do not stick to that ma'am is placing the value of y, so we will do that. She is doing for x, so we'll do for x. Just go with your flow, your own way of doing it. Clear? Let us now discuss the another question. So here comes next question. Question number 20. What we have to prove in this is, show that right circular cylinder of given surface and maximum volume. So volume is to be maximized here, right? And what is given to us? The surface area. Clear? This is given to us. So this is what we have to use in the question to prove this. Getting it? Such that its height of the cylinder is equal to the diameter of the base, that means 2r. This is what we have to prove. Clear? So what is the surface area? When it is written just surface area, we have to take the total surface area. It is 2 pi r square, okay, for the top and the bottom, right? And plus what we have the curved surface area is 2 pi rh. This is the total surface area of the cylinder. Now volume is what? Pi r square h. R is the radius, h is the height. So this is what we have to maximize. So now you can see this is in two variables. Pi is a constant. It is having two variables r and h, and the volume depends on r and h only. Clear? Now just look carefully. We have to convert this volume expression pi r square h either in terms of r or in terms of h. Let us do that. And this is also to be proved. Like at this condition we have to get the volume maximum. So this is not something which is given. Given is the surface area only. Right? So now solving it further, what we will have, just see, we'll calculate the value of h from here. H or r, it's your choice. So I'm calculating h equals 2 pi r h. So I will get h as equal to s minus 2 pi r square divided by 2 pi r. Now putting the value of h in our volume expression, which is v equals pi r square h, we get the volume v as pi r square into s minus 2 pi r square divided by 2 pi r. So just to see, v is equal to pi r square upon 2 pi r multiplied with s minus 2 pi r square. So just to see, r and r getting cancelled. Okay, pi and pi will get cancelled. So v is equal to 1 upon 2, or I can write r upon 2 into s minus 2 pi r square. We will now differentiate it. Differentiate it with respect to what? R. Okay, or what we can do is just multiply this r inside, right? Now multiplying this r inside, we will get 1 divided by 2r, or I can write it here 1 divided by 2 outside, sr minus 2 pi r cube. Let us differentiate it. Now see, s doesn't have any effect on volume. Volume is depending on r and h. So for us, s is a constant. S will be a constant as it is. The differentiation of r will be 1 minus 2 pi as it is being a constant. Differentiation of r cube is 3r square. So it will become 6r square. Okay, now we will equate it to 0. Putting it as equal to 0, just see, or I'll just write it on a separate page, we have 1 divided by 2 s minus 6 pi r square as equal to 0. So s minus 6 pi r square as equal to 0. We know that s value is 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h minus 6 pi r square is equal to 0. 2 pi r square minus 6 pi r square is minus 4 pi r square in 2 pi rh equals 0. So what is common in this? 2 is common, pi is common, r is common. But we are left with here, just see, 2 pi r is common, h only, minus 2. Pi is common, out of r square, r is left. So either r is equal to 0. So this is not possible. Then h is equal to 2r. So what we got, that height is equal to 2 times of the radius, or I can just write height is equal to the diameter. Now at this we have to prove that the second order derivative. So if we find out the second order derivative, just see here, in the second order derivative I will get d square v by dx square, dr square actually. So this is only the first order derivative. So half as it is, differentiation of s will be 0 because we don't have any effect on volume, minus 6 pi r square will be 2r. So you notice here that if you put r as equal to h by 2, then also it is going to be negative, right? Minus 12 pi r. So it is less than 0. That means volume is maximum at this point, h equals to r. And as you can see in the question, this is the only thing that was asked, that when height is equal to the diameter of the base, the cylinder has the maximum volume. And we have used given surface, s is what we are using here. Clear? So now for homework, what you will do is, so what you have done till now is 6.5 exercise 1 to 15 you have done already, right? And from 15 onwards I have discussed some questions. So in your notebooks you will complete questions 15 to 21. Fine. So you are going to try these questions in your notebook and do come up with doubts. For more videos like this, please subscribe the channel AddQuark and keep liking and sharing the videos. Thank you. Stay safe.